Morning, friends. This is Genius Support Coach and Mentor signing on a Facebook Live. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And I encourage you to come in, feel the vibe, feel the joy, feel the magic for the day as it's going to unfold. And that's truly the magic for the day because that's how you set your intention. When you're in the morning, calm set of mind, when you plan your activities for the day the previous day, you know it's going to unfold in that magical sense, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. But the most important thing is when you've planned your day before, it's kind of you set things in motion. Now, you're not planned you're going to climb the Mount Everest, or you've not planned something that's completely weird and out of your schedule. Normally, the planning happens because of what has happened the previous day and the previous day. So there's a particular momentum in place. When there's a particular momentum in place, there's a particular drive in place. Hi Eric, good morning, how are you? When there's a particular momentum in place, when there's a particular drive in place, when there's a particular expertise in place, because that's coming from your day-to-day schedule, work, then things seem to unfold like magic. Things things seem to roll out effortlessly. Sorry, I think I need another cup of coffee. Things seem to roll out effortlessly. When you look at an expert, when you look at a professional, like Eric, for example, you see the conversations they have. When you see somebody who's excellent at what they're doing, see the conversations they have. The moments just seem to happen. The expertise just seems to come. You tell them one thing and they're like, boom, boom, boom. The same situation that you'd gag and grapple over, for somebody else, it's like, oh, that's nothing. And they finish it off in 5 minutes. It almost seems like magic. You're like, when will I get there? Do you remember as kids, you looked at all the adults and like, when am I going to be an adult? Because being an adult didn't mean just being big. It just meant knowing everything by heart, off your hand, knowing all the answers, knowing all the hows and whys, all the answers to the problems in life or the wonders in life. You looked at from a children's perspective, from a child's perspective. You looked at the adults and you're like, whoa, they know everything, right? And sometimes you reflect back on yourself and say, you can be in that position of magic. What is magic, my friends? It's pure focus. It's sort of when you cast a spell with something that you do. But have you ever seen a magician with no focus? So it's pure focus, unbridled focus, passion, and expertise. That, my friends, creates magic. Now, if you Google it, you will find that magicians, they say they practice years and years and years to practice and perfect a trick. So what seems like the sleight of hand for you and magic happens, it didn't happen overnight for them. It happened over a period of few years. Sitting in front of the TV, practicing in class, practicing during break times, practicing whether friends were ready to listen or not listen. They honed their skill all the time. Every time they honed their skill. And that was magic. Why are they different from you? Why would you not have that magic in your own life? Why are you separate from somebody else? And why do you have lower expectations from yourself? Magic, my friends, is just that ability to imagine something beautiful. Now, a magician never starts and says, I'm going to try this trick and let's see what happens. He has a very specific goal in mind. Unlike most careers, a magician has a very specific goal in mind. He has a very specific end in mind. And sometimes that takes him a couple of weeks to practice, a couple of months, sometimes even a couple of years, if it's a very tricky trick. But he very specifically starts with an end goal in mind and saying, this is how my trick will unfold. This is how my art will unfold. This is how my stage show will unfold. Have you ever thought of that? Have you ever started with the end trick in mind? Yes, I want to be an entrepreneur with, say, $1 million or $5 million. I want to start my own business. Have you ever thought of the end in mind to say, this is how my business will unfold? Unfold, remember. It's not this is how my business is. A magician never says, oh, I want to be like David Copperfield overnight. No, right? But he says, this is when I start my tricks. This is how it will pan out. This is where the amazement will be there, the wonder, and this is the finale, right? So he has a complete set and process in place, and he goes to hone that each process. That, my friends, is our answer. If you're trying, doing, or want to be something, somebody else, something else, you want to start a new venture, you want to start a new role. I often meet people, and there was one person I met recently, and he was talking about starting a business and said, you don't have that option of starting a business. I'm like, yes, we do, but in a different sort of way. But the thing about starting a business or starting any new venture is not only to say, yes, you have something or you don't have something, but to look to see if you have all the processes in place. One. Second thing to look and see is how that will unfold. How will that come about for you, me, for my friends, for people coming in? This is what they'll have, this is what they'll experience, this is what they'll do. A lot of us leave it at that. Oh, I'd love to be an entrepreneur. I'd love to manage my own time. And I often look at people and I laugh because I say, being an entrepreneur ain't fun. It's fun because you're probably doing what you're doing, but it's not like you own your time because you actually work more. You actually work more, you're on the go more because you don't know where the next paycheck is coming. You actually have that sense of uncertainty. Now, the only icing on that cake is, like I said, it's because it's your own career. But does it mean, like a magician, you have to stand back and hone each activity? Whether it is the marketing, the timing, the place, the products that you'll market, the material that you'll send out to market. That's just honing the marketing activity, the act of reaching out, going, calling, and doing. Then it's the product. Then it's the incoming inquiries. That's another set itself. That's the closing. Then it's actually showing them your product, the product delivery, showcasing, delivering after service sales, whatever. And then the follow up, which is the key thing. Have you spent time honing these? And this is just, like I said, the actual act, the mental preparation at the back end to deliver a flawless act is something different. When is a magician a magician? When things seem to appear flawlessly. When would things seem to appear flawlessly for you, my friends? When you operate out of your area of strength. Try to take something up that you have no expertise in and try to do something. You're not bound by it, you're not passionate about it, it doesn't mean anything to you. You know what? If I was doing something like that, I'd seem like a clumsy clod all the way through, right? Find out your area of expertise. If you need help, I'm not the expert, but at least I have some certifications so I can help you find out what's your core strength. But find out what you like, but what your passion is and how you operate. Sometimes for example, as long as I can remember, I would say my hobbies are reading books. But that didn't tell me what I want to do growing up. I love singing, but that didn't tell me what I wanted to do growing up, how I could do it, how I could relate to the world in the best possible way. That didn't tell me how I was built and how I tend to operate vis-a-vis somebody else. So if you're looking for these clues, like I said, I'm not the expert, but I do have a few tools up my belt that I can help you with, or I do know a few people who I can refer you to. But I'm all about you finding your right niche, right goal, uh, right style of being so that you can operate to the max in the area of your choice. In the same way, for a magician, one magician is meant to do individual shows to people, probably in an elite setting. One magician is meant to do, loves the restaurant scenario and would do that time and time again. One magician is meant to command a stage of, 100,000 people, right? So everybody has their different sense of expertise. And that's where they shine best. Of course, everybody would love to command a stage with 100,000 people, but not everybody is comfortable doing that. Not everybody has the time, the focus, the energy to operate at that level. And though they would love the money, they said, like, some people are like, look, I'm not meant for that. And it's not something that I'm comfortable with. So you want to operate not because their goals are less. It's just that they know that something else will work better for them than something else. Money wise, it could be the same. If we are doing one big show vis-a-vis, say 10 other smaller shows, could mean the same. So there's no right or wrong answer, but there is an answer in finding out how you best operate. Eric, thank you for joining in. Pranali, thank you for joining in. Magic, yes, Eric. If you have good words, let me know. I'd love to expound on that, simply because I learn along with you, and I grow along with you, my friends. So these are my 100 days of starting with winning words to impact your life, impact your style, impact your 2019 in a powerful way. Think about the word magic. Think about what it means to you. If your friends and family were to say, "You seem to have magic," what's missing that you're not having that magic right now? And I bet you something small, two, three things put together, but that does need focus, energy, and thinking. Bring that magic to your lives, my friends, because I promise you, it's not something that comes easy, but with practice, you just get better and better, and you reap the joy of that magical focus, experience, and passion all put together. This is Genius Support Coach and Mentor signing off, and I look forward to joining Eric Reed at 8 o'clock and Holly at 7 o'clock. And if you are working on or towards something to steal Eric's line, I'd love to help you with that. Like I said, if you're looking at your core area of operation, the way you're built, I have tools for that I can help you with, because one of the things I hate to see is people struggling in their area of what could be their opportunity, struggling because sometimes you don't know just the right door, right? The right key. So that's what I'll help you with. I look forward to connecting with you tomorrow on another beautiful word, another magical word.